My name is Alex Brace. I'm the Executive Director of the Small Talk Children's Advocacy Center here in Lansing. I've been at Small Talk since 2011, so coming up on 14 years later this year. I went to graduate school at Michigan State. We did my undergrad there as well in psychology and counseling, and moved away for a little bit. I was in Wisconsin doing some work, working with adults with severe and persistent mental illness. Had a realization, I think, the more that I did that work, that my passion was really working with kids, and specifically working in sort of the trauma sphere. And I missed home, I missed Michigan, so I wanted to move back, and the opportunity kind of presented itself. There was a job posting for what was not called Small Talk at the time, and I applied and was lucky enough to be able to get the position. And kind of been here ever since. So for the first 3 or 4 years, I was the only employee at Small Talk. And you know, my closest kind of coworkers were the law enforcement professionals and the prosecutors and CPS workers who I got to work with on a daily basis. And then as we continued to grow, moved into this space that we're in today. You know, now we're 12 people strong, and you know, doing a lot of great work in our community. We're a nonprofit here in Lansing. We're what's called a Children's Advocacy Center. So we work really closely with law enforcement, children's protective services, medical professionals, prosecutors, to provide sort of services for children who have been sexually and physically abused. So anytime that happens here in Ingham County, those children are referred to us by law enforcement or child protective services. We provide them with a safe space for them to be able to share their stories, and then offer them free counseling and advocacy for the life of their case. So they can come here as long as they need to and get the services at no cost to them and their families. When I first heard about the CATA Safe Place, I was super excited. I kind of got wind of it from our media contacts. And one of the things I think that's most exciting about it is that we're going to have more safe adults in our community. These are going to be, you know, CATA professionals, bus drivers that are trained to be able to figure out, you know, when children are not feeling safe and how to keep them safe, you know, what kind of things to do, how to respond, you know, when a child discloses something to them. The fact that this extends beyond just the bus drivers as well, you know, this is CATA staff, this is, you know, at their headquarters, you know, at any of the bus depots, the professionals there, whether it's security or, you know, any other CATA staff, is going to be prepared to be able to answer those questions and help kids navigate the process. Is a huge, huge benefit. It makes our community safer. I think one of the really cool things about CATA is that they have touch points across the entire community. Their buses are everywhere, their staff is everywhere. And you know, even though the work that we do is so different from each other, I think that's what makes the relationship more valuable, is because we can find these sort of touch points between each other where we really meet. You know, we share a lot of the same values as organizations as well. So I think being able to bring those two, you know, unique and different things together, I think can create something really special. We have more kids who are riding CATA to get to school and get to other places. Like, it makes the Safe Place initiative even more valuable and more important, because when we have more kids, you know, maybe solo riding the bus, they need to know that a safe adult is there. And they need to know what is, you know, who they can talk to when something serious happens, or when they have concerns, or when they're just worried about something. So, you know, the more, I think, utilization that we have of kids utilizing, you know, public transportation, an initiative like CATA's Safe Place program is going to be just more and more important as time goes on. You know, public transportation is absolutely key. You know, we're serving people from all different walks of life and socioeconomic status, and you know, being able to bridge the gap in transportation is really valuable. Even thinking about, you know, some of the work that we do, you know, when we have families who want to come in person for therapy services, and you know, transportation is an issue, you know, we're lucky that we have a bus stop right outside of our doors. So, you know, if there's a family that needs to utilize that service to be able to get to an appointment that's really important for them, it's great that we have CATA to be able to do that.